Welcome back, listeners. This is the Hit Pause Podcast. You're here with your hosts. To my right, inside of a phone, is Mr. David Cousins. How are you, David?
I'm great. And you know what? I'm happy to be back for another episode with my good friend, Mr. I...
Just do the first name for me. It's
Why
a
are we
little
doing
easier.
full names? Why are we doing full names? It's the internet.
Scratch that. Yeah. Nobody has a surname on the internet. Anyway.
Exactly. Social security number and everything.
Anyway, I'm Iman. My social security number is... No. How is everyone doing? This is the podcast where we talk about YouTube. We've got some good recommendations for you this week. David, have you got any news bits as well?
Yeah, I've got some news, like why we didn't post last week.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were just going to not talk about that. Okay,
yeah.
But it's not our fault, okay? We tried for 2 hours to record, and there were so many technical issues that it was impossible. It was physically impossible. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, okay? First of all...
And we try to go back to basics as well.
Yeah, we were back to basics. We were making normal phone calls. Those weren't working. We were using Discord. We were getting recordings. We were getting feedback. We were getting echoes. Just the whole thing was a mess. There is an episode sat there. It's about 20 minutes long, and it's such a mess that it is unlistenable. So, if we ever have a Patreon, we'll put that one out at a price. Make everyone's ears bleed. That'd be a great prize. Yeah, enjoy that one. All right, well, should we start with the tradition, David?
Let's do that tradition thing.
All right, so this is the tradition where we go through our YouTube apps and see how much YouTube we watched in the past week. By the way, you can track this yourself by going on the YouTube app, clicking your little face icon in the top right, and clicking time watched. Okay, hang on. All right, you
two can play along.
Yeah, you want to start us off, David?
Well, I'm embarrassed about my today, but yeah, I got 18 minutes.
18 minutes today. Not good enough, yeah. David. I have 1 hour 33. I've just been chilling.
You do realize it's the morning.
I know. This is our first morning recording. We started talking at about 11. So I've just been chilling, having coffee, watching YouTube on the TV. That's been good. All right. What's your yesterday then?
1 hour 59.
Oh, boy. Chump change, David. Chump change. I got 2 hours 50. 50. Almost 3 hours.
Jeez.
I don't know how I did that. What day was it yesterday? Friday, yeah.
Yeah, Friday.
I don't know. I did a lot on the tubes and stuff, I guess. All right, past week.
But your tube journey is nothing.
Well, I don't know. It's about I don't know, 40 minutes, 50-minute commute each way.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair
so,
enough.
Okay, past week, David. What do you got?
Right,
what do you got for me?
I got 7 hours, 28 minutes.
What? In the past week, David? What are you playing at?
What do you mean?
We're supposed to be professionals here, David. And you're coming in there with these rookie numbers. What? I cannot.
Right,
I'm embarrassed.
Mr. Double figures.
I'm embarrassed to be on a podcast with you about YouTube.
You know, this is probably like one of the highest I've ever gotten.
I can't believe it, David. You need to step it up a little bit, okay? Okay, you want to hear mine?
Sure.
You want to hear the real boy? I don't know what that is. All right, I got 16 hours 55 minutes in the past week. That's
16,
almost 17 hours. I don't really know how. I don't know how. I've just been.
And you know what's funny? I actually watched some YouTube streams, so I had it on for a good considerable amount of time in the past week, and you still got 16.
Yeah, like I said, I've been binge watching a lot this week, and the week before that. I don't know though. That's still a lot. I mean, I have a day job. I don't know how I'm doing this, man. Okay, so your daily average, David, about what? 5 minutes.
1 hour 5 minutes.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
I got 2 hours 25. I mean, it kind of makes sense. If I've got like 40 minutes each way on my commute, Okay, and then watching in the evenings, and I'll easily watch, an hour or two in the evenings. Easily. I'll just like sit and play on my Switch and like be watching it on the TV.
That's true. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I do blame a lot of this to the fact that I've been watching a lot of Netflix.
Ooh.
Well, I don't really watch TV, but this past week or two has been a Netflix like, wow, TV exists, and so I've been watching some shows.
Not that we're a Netflix podcast, but what were you watching on Netflix?
That's our side channel.
What were you watching then?
So I watched a couple movies. But series-wise, I watched the second season of The Punisher.
Yeah, I heard that came out. Yeah, I got to say, I can't get excited about it. I just don't care that much.
That's a fair point. And the first 6 episodes was barely about The Punisher. It's more about Frank Castle when he's not The Punisher. Finally, in episode 7, he became the Punisher again.
Oh, no way. It's all the way until episode 7. Wow.
Exactly. But that episode 7, though, which is the current episode I'm on, that was a good episode. But I just had to wait a while for it.
Okay. Well, all right. We've actually got a lot to cover this week, seeing as we missed a week. And I've watched 16, 17 hours. I got a lot to cover. I'm having to actually cut things out, okay? But shall I start off this time? You usually start.
Yeah, find it hard to believe, but I've cut stuff out too. I watch videos too,
Yeah. All right, so my first, and I'm definitely calling this a recommendation, is this channel called Churdleys, like Cherdleys. Again, videos.
Sounds like a burger place.
Yeah, actually, it kind of does, doesn't it? Our videos again will be linked in the description of this podcast, so go check it there. This is a relatively small channel. They've only got 270,000 subs.
Oh, yeah.
So I had them. They actually popped up on a recommended video because they did a collab. So basically, it's like 2 guys. They have a few other kind of people that are involved, but mainly it's these 2 guys who do sketch comedy. Pretty much, they have these different characters. The funniest ones that I like the best are these just kind of bro characters, like lame weed smoking white boys who think they're really cool and like wear chains and stuff.
Nice.
And like backwards caps and they're really dumb and yeah. So these guys actually appeared in a Gus Johnson video
I was gonna say as soon as you mentioned sketch comedy, I was thinking, does it fall in that same kind of setup?
Yeah. So they appeared in one of his videos, and then kind of popped up in like related whatever, and I watched a couple. But pretty funny stuff. There's the one that's I'm gonna link in the description is just called "Is It Chill If I Chill Here?" and it's literally just these 2 guys in the park. There's like not even that much to it. It doesn't even really feel planned out. It's just like so dumb but really funny. I don't really know. I can't really explain it. It's not gonna be funny if I try and explain it. But like, it's 2 dumb weed smoking guys. Like, I don't know. It's funny. It's good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that there was a collaboration as well because you also told me about 1 Gus Johnson and 2 Fair is it Fairbairn or
Fairbairn Films?
And they had a collaboration with Gus Johnson as well.
Yeah, so those are the 2. Those are the 2 Australian brothers who that collaboration was quite good actually. Did you watch that one?
Also, because one day they were in remote countries as well, surely.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah, but they had a script and they kind of went through it and stuff. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah. I do like Gus Johnson. He does like grow on you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And actually, he doesn't just do sketches. He also does like serious videos talking about issues and things, but they're always really entertaining just because he's like just funny and charismatic and, but we'll link one of his videos in there as well.
Yeah, which you can kind of tell with like the duration of the videos. When he wants to do like a quick joke that's gonna get you, it's like 2 minutes and under. But when he's like serious, then we're talking 6 to 15.
Yeah. And actually, it's interesting. He's spoken about that before. He said what he really likes doing is having the freedom to make those shorter sketch videos, which, are literally 30 seconds, minute, 2 minutes. But he likes having the freedom to do that by occasionally making longer videos, which he can get sponsors for. So he can still get the money coming in, and the money from getting sponsors on those longer ones helps basically cover the cost and give him the freedom to make that really short sketch comedy stuff, which just doesn't really make a lot of money. Because you don't get a lot of ads on a 30-second video. Not to mention, you obviously can't have a sponsor on something like that. So it's quite like a cool, quite an interesting. How would I call that? Business model, I guess. It's probably a bit strong. But,
one thing I've always worried about Poppy is the consistency in 30-second to 1 minute videos. Yeah. How far can they go?
Yeah, exactly. But then that's why she's making music, because she obviously can't get a sponsorship, really. So because that would just be so weird. But with making music,
she could clothes-wise. She could definitely do it like fashion-wise.
Yeah,
but I don't think they've ever done that, which is very surprising.
She does have merch as well, but it's really the music is where she's going to be making her money. Well, I don't know if she's.
But then again, if I told you she was coming on tour, would you go?
I don't know. If it was £5, hell yeah. Just for the meme.
I am a fan of this second album.
Oh, really? I haven't listened to much of it. David and I, for you listeners out there, have actually been to see Poppy live before. We've covered her in a previous episode. I feel like we've said that so many times. It was our first episode, so it's like, our first episode.
Oh my gosh, our first episode.
Yeah. All right, okay, you go. What's been on your list this week?
All right, I'm gonna be cheeky and throw in two. One, just because we were talking about it already, but the Gus Johnson video, when which I'll link as well, when he pretends to be a mother, and the video is called "Helping Mum Use the iPad." It's a very simple joke because we all know the stereotypical thing of like an old person using technology, but I thought he acted so well for it. And it's so true. Hashtag relatable.
That one is really funny.
But my video is probably Niga Higa, who, it's just the thing that we say on the Hip Pods podcast, which is a YouTuber we've talked about already. And basically, he's going through a dilemma of posting videos recently. He feels like he's following the format, doing what a YouTuber must do to have a successful business.
So wait, this was a serious video of him talking about this.
Yeah, serious because, out of the kind of content he does put out, it's usually hilarious or sarcastic. Even though this had funny overtones, it was considered serious.
Okay.
And he's also done a video previously about a YouTuber's life cycle, and eventually this video does come. So he has predicted it for himself, that every YouTuber has that video of why I don't post recently, or why my creative juices are not flowing.
Dude, literally, it actually has happened to so many. And I know I've said this before, but PewDiePie, because he's been on the platform so long, and he's obviously the biggest YouTuber, he has been through every single step already of the YouTuber life cycle. He's already
again.
Yeah, he's already been there. I'm just not enjoying making videos anymore. I'm just doing things purely for the views, not because I enjoy it. And then he changed his whole format, and now he just makes videos that he enjoys, doesn't really care if they get demonetized. I mean, he does care, but
exactly.
He's not super focused on that. He's just like, I enjoy this, so I'm going to make it even if it doesn't get views. And he's just so much more entertaining and having such a better time. He actually enjoys doing YouTube again.
You can see it on his face as well. But so Niga Higa, he's basically just said that he's now going to start posting videos that may get demonetized, may seem offensive, may seem this and that, or insensitive, I should say, rather than offensive. And he's just going to put it out there because he enjoys making videos that, he wakes up to do.
It's a bit weird to call out and say, I really want to make insensitive videos. It sounds weird.
I know. But hey, at least he's honest. So whatever those next upcoming videos are going to be, that's great that he's at least not quitting just because of that reason. Which, you know, if you have 22, 23 million subs, not that that's an excuse, but, you know, you can really do what you want.
Yeah.
You've kind of made it already.
Yeah.
So he did put out a new diss track, which was called Exposed. And he basically just... which I gotta say is rapped very well. Like the not only the lyrics but the vocals for it is probably one of the best diss tracks I've heard. Like it's actually
his rapping.
Yeah, his rapping. It's very close to Eminem. Like he obviously took some ideas like from the flow of like stuff from 8 Mile and like the old Eminem, but it sounds pretty good. And on top of that, it's him. Even though it's called a diss track, it's him saying all the nicest things about the people who are under flag at the moment. So he says nice things about Rice Gum, nice things about Logan.
So it's like an anti-diss track. What does he say about Rice Gum? What does he say about Logan as well?
Well, I think he starts off with Logan like, yeah, I know that thing you did in the forest, but the time I met you on this specific day, you were the nicest guy. You were so welcoming, and I don't know, you made me food as soon as I came in, or something like that. Exactly. Same thing he did with KSI and Rice Gum. Not that I'm gonna all of a sudden like these people, but hey, it's a nice idea. It's not your everyday diss track, so
yeah, it's not everyday, bro.
Link that one as well.
Funny.
Yeah, it's not every day.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah,
that's cool. All right, you got your 2, so it's my turn again, I think.
Can I have a third one?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. I do have the channel I've been binge watching, but I don't want to get there yet. I don't want to get quite there yet. So okay, you got 2. I get 2. So there's been 2 big YouTubers who we both really like, Jontron and Dunkey. And we've covered them both before, I think, but they both just make comedy videos, a bit of everything. Like originally, both started out just gaming, and kind of went more into like lots of sort of different things, just funny stuff. And both have released a new video recently, and it's just I'm so happy because it feels like all these YouTubers who rarely post have decided as their New Year's resolution, like, we're actually going to make videos again consistently. Because, I mean, Dunkey rarely actually puts out videos, and Jontron is even rarer, but Jontron has now been consistently putting one out, like, you know, every few weeks, which is amazing.
Since 2019.
Yeah, it's honestly amazing for him. There's been out, let's see, 4 videos in 2 months. Like, damn, that's crazy for him. He didn't post anything for 1 year before that. It's just
exactly.
It's ridiculous. So Jontron's latest one is about Skull vodka. So it's that, you've probably seen it around. It's that vodka you can get that comes in like a crystal skull bottle made of glass.
Yep.
And I didn't know, but this company that makes this is actually backed by or co-owned by Dan Aykroyd, who's a guy who acted in Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters movies. And it's just Jontron going through the marketing video for this vodka with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a business model!
It's so funny. It's just such weird. You think like, oh, okay, cool. It's vodka in a cool bottle. You know, that's cool. But Dan Aykroyd, he just goes into all of this mystical stuff. You know, there's diamonds involved and getting the energies, and we picked this shape because of the earth and the alien skulls throughout the world, and it's just like you're an actual crazy person, you know. And it's just him goofing on this video. It's pretty entertaining. Again, gonna be linked down below. And then the Dunkey video, which came out very recently, was...
Yeah, although you did say that Dunkey doesn't really post that often, but we also did mention last year he was posting a lot, though.
Yeah, he was for a while, actually. I don't know... I guess...
I know hilariously linked it to like his upcoming wedding.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. He's got to get that. Weddings are expensive, He's got to make some cash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's a bit unfair to say he doesn't post it often. It's actually been not too bad for the last kind of, I don't know, 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, compared to like 2 years ago when it was like one video a month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So his latest video is seriously old school donkey. It is him just prank calling fast food places and game shops.
Oh, no way. He goes back to that.
Yeah, he literally goes back to that. He's just like phones up Pizza Hut and he's like, I want a taco. And then phones up Taco.
Nice. Taco Bell and then asks for a pizza.
Yeah, just like, it's just really dumb, but and he's phoning up game places and he's like, I want the big Yoshi. I want just really dumb, stupid stuff. The big Yoshi, yeah. It's pretty funny. Yeah. It's proper old school donkey. The old stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recommend both of those videos. I mean, Jontron's one especially. Nice. Jontron's videos are always such high quality. We've said this before, but on the production.
I don't think we can stress it enough.
Yeah,
how much effort he puts in.
I mean, for this one, that's literally just a joke video about Skull Vodka. It's like he has a whole set just for a 30-second window where he's in this weird room that looks like a lab and he smashes a few bottles and messes about, but it's like you went to the effort of making this thing just for this 30-second segment. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you think Family Guy puts in that much effort every time it does like a little flashback?
Exactly, yeah. So I mean,
credit to him.
He's got his 4.3 million views, so that's pretty good. But then again, Donkey has 3 million views on his video, which cost nothing. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying one's better than the other.
It'll take time. Sure.
Yeah.
But, expenditure of, props. Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of interesting that, because it can vary so wildly between YouTubes. But at the end of the day, Jontron loves those big production things. Like, he enjoys producing that level of content. Like, he's, he doesn't want to make just anything. He wants to make the good stuff,
Yeah, and let's be honest. The videos Jontron makes, they will, hardly age. You know what I mean? That's something you could watch 10 years from now. But gaming or old games can slowly, disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, you go. We got a lot to get through.
All right, so we're clearly doing 2 at a time. I'll make this one really quick. So speaking of posting and announcing, this is my posting schedule. Team 4-Star, which is a YouTube channel that, they do random stuff now, but they were primarily known for doing abridged series of anime. Usually, the common one is Dragon Ball Z. So they'll get Dragon Ball Z episodes from start to finish, but they will do their own dub as well as some edits to suit a completely different story. And yeah, it got, it gets, started maybe 6 years ago, maybe 7. And, it's getting a good 6 million views to 10. And that's a lot back then. And a lot of people were big fans. But as all these years passed, they kind of, their episodes came out once a month. And to a point that a lot of people were, airing out their frustrations. Not that anyone should have a right to say, "Oh, where's my video?" because I'm a paying customer, but you're just a subscriber. So they kind of announced at the start of this year that their new schedule plan is to have, and as you've kind of quoted Iman before about the January, after Christmas, it's getting views, not to mention ads as well, seems to be quite difficult.
It's not about the views. The views are fine. It's ad revenue, because companies in January aren't spending a lot of money on ads. So although you'll still get an ad on your video, it will be you'll get paid less for that ad because the company is only willing to pay a less amount,
Yeah.
or there just
Yeah.
won't be enough ads, and you just won't get any ads on the video at all.
That's true, yeah. And more so for certain channels where ads themselves on the videos, as well as sponsored videos too, are definitely difficult around that time of year. So they said that from January to June, they are going to do all the prep work for all the episodes.
Oh, wow.
And then they're going to release them in the last 6 months to the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Which
that's
I
weird.
thought was, it's weird, right?
Tell me the name of this channel again.
Said, Team 4-Star.
Okay.
I'll link the video where they announced it. They obviously did say they'll, post one or two things, keep warm kind of videos, but not the actual main content, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if it will work, but interesting, model, I guess, for
that's
getting
weird.
regular videos.
That is like, I've never heard of that before on YouTube. It's really, very different. I mean, obviously that's how traditional TV works. They'll film a season over a few months, then they release it all week by week.
Yeah.
But that just doesn't happen on YouTube. So interesting.
On YouTube, right? Yeah. So it was interesting to me. So I thought I'd bring it up. The second thing is Hot Ones. So
Hot Ones.
Hot Ones is that also known as First We Feast, I guess, where Sean Evans, I think is his name, he gets very high profile and from celebrities in movies to authors to musicians to YouTubers as well.
Yeah, he gets some good people. Like he's not
big names.
It's big names, yeah.
So he's on season 8. I don't know how many episodes he does in a season, but he recently got Gordon Ramsay, who was probably very heavily requested.
Dude,
have,
I've seen this
hot wings with him.
I've seen this video. I haven't seen the video, but I've seen it. I've either seen it in my recommended or in memes. Oh yeah,
it's recommended.
I think I've seen.
If you open, memes as well.
I think I've seen some memes of it, of like, I don't know, Gordon Ramsay spitting out the thing, or like squirting sauce or something like that.
Spitting it out, yeah. He was very clear about his disgust.
What, that he didn't like the spice, or it was just bad food?
Well, that he couldn't handle it, really.
Okay, I gotta watch this episode.
Yeah, it's actually good. And if you open a private browser, you will actually see that video being recommended.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which recommended in general, we should definitely talk about. Because if you have YouTube Premium, right, it now shows recommended downloadable videos.
Yes, which actually is quite a cool feature. It's like you go to your downloaded section, and it's like download. Yeah. These are some recommended ones. You can just click it right there to download stuff.
But how
nice.
well does it know you though?
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't vetted the videos. I just saw the feature and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But I already have like a ton of stuff downloaded which I haven't watched yet. I basically at all times just have loads of stuff sitting there ready to watch when I need it. Yeah. Another good one is downloading full playlists. Basically.
Oh yeah, but then you also brought up the issue with that because what is it? If something gets added to the playlist, it doesn't. Or you talk about music wise, the issue with playlists.
Yeah, it's basically with the playlists that you can download. So it's really annoying that YouTube Premium doesn't have a way to automatically download new videos from certain subscriptions. So I subscribe to, say, Gus Johnson. I want every single one of his new videos to get downloaded to my phone, ready to watch.
Yeah, automatically. Yeah.
Automatically. Now, the way around this is almost all YouTubers, when they upload a new video, will put it into a playlist. Say it's like their vlogs playlist or just uploaded videos playlist. Usually they'll have an uploaded videos playlist, and every single video goes into there. Now,
especially if they've broken it down into seasons, for example, like Hot Ones.
Exactly. Now you can, if you subscribe to that playlist, whenever something new gets added, it will get downloaded. Okay, so fair enough. The problem is that it's gonna download every single video in that playlist, and big YouTubers have been around a long time, and there's gonna be 1,000 videos literally in that playlist. So it's just not it's just not great. That's just really annoying, you know?
It's a mess that can easily be fixed.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, boom, download every new video in my subscriptions feed. Done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the first step. Then I can turn it on and off by individual channel or whatever. But yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The Hit Pause podcast has brought out a lot of things that a simple intern straight out of university could do.
Yeah.
Like, there you go, kid. Do a little project.
Yeah, a little project.
But yeah, back to the recommended thing. Yeah, that video you can find anywhere. But the video itself is pretty funny. It's good. Obviously, it's the whole idea is about him asking questions whilst the interviewee is like struggling eating like very, very spicy wings. And with it being a chef of all people, obviously that makes it better.
And a really funny chef as well, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, exactly. And that is like after 8 seasons, this is probably till today. I mean, up till today, I think it's now the most viewed video on that channel, which is their most recent episode as well.
Oh, wow.
It got 18 million views in 3 days.
Oh, damn. Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good compared to all their other celebrities. And they've had big celebrities. I
mean, if it's getting memed, like, that's a good sign, you know?
That's true as well. Yeah, exactly. Once you're memed, you're all good.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. That is literally it, though. That's actually true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go on to my the channel I've been binge watching. All right.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why I have watched so much YouTube over the past 2 weeks. I've been binge watching MAXMOEFOE. So MAXMOEFOE is a friend of iDubbbz and also a friend of Filthy Franks and also a friend of How To Basic, who are all very big, very influential channels. And we've talked about them before. We had an episode about Filthy Franks specifically. Now, that kind of friendship has come out with some gross but amazing videos in the past, but it's kind of over now. Like, the collaboration's kind of over, seeing as Filthy Frank is no more. He just does Joji music now. But I've been firstly binge watching MAXMOEFOE's second channel, which has all vlogs and behind the scenes stuff on it. So he's got all these behind the scenes videos of Filthy Frank videos, of MAXMOEFOE, of iDubbbz videos. And it's just them just messing about. They're always so funny, just doing stupid stuff and just seeing how they made these ridiculous videos. And so I've been really enjoying that. I've also been I'll be honest, the main one I've been binge watching is MAXMOEFOE Pokémon, which is his other channel. He's got like 4 channels.
other channel.
Literally, he's got MAXMOEFOE, which is his proper videos. He hasn't posted on there for like a year. MAXMOEFOE 2,
I was gonna say,
go on.
Do you know how many like subs for the main one?
Yeah, the main one he's got like biggest? The main one he's got like 2.9 million, something like that.
I see.
Like he's not a small YouTuber, you know. He's a big YouTuber. Across all his channels, he's probably got 5-6 million total.
Nice.
So yeah, he's no jokes. So he's got this MAXMOEFOE Pokémon channel, right? Which is literally just him opening up kind of collectible stuff, mainly Pokemon cards, but then also toys, other types of cards, just kind of Japan kind of stuff. And that's basically it. So it's just the camera will be point of view. He'll open up the pack of cards, go through it one by one, and it's just him joking around. You know, he swears a lot. He's, offensive a lot. He's just kind of entertaining, and it's very easy content to consume. And it's kind of nostalgic as well, watching these Pokemon cards, and interesting too, because there's so many new ones, and there's so many weird things in Pokemon now that like wasn't around when it was kind of first a big thing.
Exactly, yeah. And I will say, for those who are like thinking, I don't know if this is recommended for me. I mean, you sound like YouTube. You don't quite get me.
Yeah.
When we first did this podcast, and then like we said, which we try not to say, well, I try not to say, that podcast didn't end up going live, it was trash because of the the technical difficulties. So I had a week to check this MAXMOEFOE out, and I gotta say, you don't have to be a Pokemon fan, but if you just love pure reaction, someone who's happy, swears a lot, but is funny whilst doing it, this is the video for you. Well, this is the channel for you.
You gotta check one out. I'm also gonna put one of the vlogs in there, just so you can see a bit of the behind the scenes with iDubbbz and Filthy Frank, because those are just entertaining. Oh, Anything for Views is another one of his, another one in that crew, but not a core member. But
where does he live?
Australia,
okay.
Yeah.
And iDubbbz is America, right? I know that's
iDubbbz is in America. All the others are in America, but there's like a set of videos that came out
where they were all together.
Yeah, so I think actually what happened was Filthy Frank and iDubbbz went over to Australia for it. It must have been a good few weeks, because there was quite a bit of content that came out of it. There's all these kind of concept videos where, I mean, it's such a dumb concept. It's like Edward, what was it? Edward Watermelon Hands. That was ridiculous.
Hey, that suited back then. You could have titles like that.
Yeah. Just all kinds of like crazy stuff that just got posted on their different channels. But yeah, it's kind of sad actually that whole thing's over. I've said that before, but hey, you know. So
but I'm glad it existed. YouTube needed it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, there isn't a group like that anymore, really.
That will break all the walls to do what they want.
So anyway, I recommend watch one MAXMOEFOE Pokémon video just to see what I'm talking about. Okay, it's interesting. When he pulls like a decent card, it's like, wow, amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, best reaction ever.
Yeah.
Cool. I only have two more before I have 2 pieces of news. I don't know how we're going to squeeze this in an episode. This is going to be freaking crazy. But these 2 are really quickly because they actually appeared in my recommended.
Yeah.
One of them I've never seen before, and I can't quite recall. You know when YouTube says other people you subscribe to watch this, or like PewDiePie viewers watch this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who they were referring to, but I watched a Colin Furze video, who is British, I believe. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, isn't he the one that builds stuff?
Yeah, he builds stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'll mention it in a minute, but the next channel I was going to talk about is a very similar one, builds stuff, and I got recommended it as well.
Right, interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, which I love to see, like British YouTubers like, you know, get subscribers, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got 7.1, and he's very innovative. He like creates stuff that you could kind of do yourself, or you could imagine. He gets household items, and he puts stuff together cleverly with a bit of, you know, that comedic side.
They're always
because
ridiculous.
Some of them are nonsensical. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the one I watched is he had a staircase treadmill. So he basically got a treadmill conveyor belt, used like a wheelchair motor and some batteries, and he put it on the stairs as an exercise machine to go up and down the stairs. And he tries to make it a bit funny with like putting food at the top, and, you know, different like speeds of like too slow, want to lose weight, and like the third one being, oh yeah, good luck, kind of settings.
Funny.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I was pleased that he recommended that to me. The one I might actually end up watching more of them.
The video that I recall of his was a while back. He made a belt of knives, but it wasn't just, you know, knives on there. It was a belt that spins around with knives on. So you wear it around your waist, and imagine like a chainsaw blade going around and around, but it's just kitchen knives.
Oh, dude, yeah. I
like,
see the thumbnail now.
It was like the most dangerous, ridiculous thing. But he loves the dangerous ones especially. especially.
Nice.
So
yeah, this is definitely a good YouTuber.
this actually, so that leads well into my one, which is Michael Reaves. So he's similar kind of thing. He builds stuff. He also does like the coding side of things as well. So he'll usually, for most of the experiments he builds, have to write some code as well. And not that he, shows it, but it's just cool that he's obviously like a very smart guy, but he's quite young, but he's very, again, just entertaining with his stuff. So he made one.
Yeah.
He made one recently, which was, this is what popped up in my recommendations. It was, your robot ideas are stupid, and it's just him going through getting robot ideas that get posted in his comment sections and making them. Except the whole thing's just, this is why your idea is trash, and you're trash, and you should feel bad.
See.
It's just that.
I see.
Basically,
okay, that's good.
yeah.
That's
so
good.
he goes through and makes this stuff. It's like a glue gun that shoots out hot glue, and it just dribbles out. He's like, this doesn't make sense. This is so stupid. It doesn't work. Another one he made the other day, which I also watched, was he set up a BB gun to shoot him whenever he gets shot in Fortnite. So whenever he gets shot, it would fire
good.
at him, and yeah, pretty.
Oh, so
pretty fun.
I'm guessing that's where the code kicks in, huh?
Yeah. So we had to write some code for that, which is quite. I'm just impressed. He has a good knowledge of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's also a good channel. I recommend it. I'll link that. Your robot ideas are stupid. It's just him rinsing his comment section as well, which honestly, I always find it entertaining. Just YouTubers going, damn, you guys are so dumb in the comments. It's just nice.
That's how you grow with your community, where you could like face them, like tell them straight up. You guys are the worst.
Yeah, no, I don't love you. You're not all my friends. You're mostly idiots. It's the truth. It's the truth.
And here's why.
Yeah, and exactly. So yeah, I'll definitely link that one in the comments as well. It's a good one. Okay, let me just check. I think that's it for my list. I've got one piece of news though to cover.
Oh, nice. My last two recommended. I'm not gonna go into them. Mm-hmm. They're the secret links of the day. I watched X Games. Yep, you can find that on YouTube. And I think they do a pretty good job. They just don't get that many views, but they're edited well. So if you ever miss the X Games in Aspen in the winter, you can catch up all the highlights there, which, again, didn't give me enough hours to beat Iman, but, that's life. And the last YouTube group is Valley Folk. That's Valley Folk. And they're pretty much a mashup of people who used to work with Philip DeFranco, used to work on a YouTube channel called SourceFed that eventually got taken down.
I know SourceFed. Why did they get taken down?
Yeah. That is so long ago I can barely remember. These are the original cast for SourceFed, and then they kind of left for their own reasons, and then other people came, and then much like, I forget who we're talking about, much like another channel where the MCN gets involved and they're like, this is not what we bought SourceFed for. Yeah, we're going to shut this down and use it for something else, and then not use it.
Gotcha.
So they just basically got bought out and repurposed. But they have the four of them. That's Elliot. I think I can remember the names. Joe Beretta, Lee Newton, and I can't remember the fourth guy. But basically, they all have a very hilarious channel where they just do lots of skits, but they're very good at acting, I find. So they did one video, which I'll link, where they do everything in one take, and all four of them have their bits, and it's just pretty well done how they're so camera ready, Wow. Like they definitely could be B-list actors one day. But it's good to see talent besides just good scripts,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, that is me done. I do have two pieces of news. They're not long, but we can start with yours.
Okay, well, my first one is about Dude Perfect. So Dude Perfect we've spoken about them before. We did a whole episode on Dude Perfect, didn't we?
We did? I think we did.
We talked about them a lot.
We're normally good at this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we've done that.
Yeah. But you can usually remember the exact episode as well.
Yeah, I don't remember. Dude Perfect was an episode. You're right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So they have just announced a new thing that they're doing. They're calling it the Dude Squad. Although
Nice.
he was kind of joking about it it's the main guy. He was kind of joking about it in the video. No, I don't want to call it Dude Squad. I want to call it anyway. But so they, how do I put this? They're just using the subscription feature on YouTube. Like, that's it. So there's this feature, it hasn't been around that long, only probably a few months, where you can actually subscribe with money. So pay money monthly.
Is that the join button or something?
Yes, it's the join button that is on some bigger channels now. And it kind of works the same as on Twitch, where you can subscribe and you pay monthly and then you get access to some different stuff. It can vary from just emojis you can use in chat to all the way up to new extra content and stuff like that. So with Dude Perfect, they're trying to kind of give away as much as possible. So they'll have all of these behind the scenes videos, including like vlogs and just basically a lot more content because they don't actually post that often.
Yeah, because it's hard to post perfection, right?
Yeah.
Like you can only show the good.
Yeah,
so the vlogs are when they're not doing good, I guess.
I was actually interested to find out why they don't post so much, but I didn't know this. But they have a TV show on Nickelodeon. Did you know?
On Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
no way.
They have a TV show that is. I mean, obviously, I've never watched it, but it's just them doing their usual stuff, really. Challenges.
Their stuff does suit TV.
Challenges and stuff like that. I mean. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why they're not posting all the time on YouTube because, they're doing other stuff.
That's a sweet deal and a reliable deal as well. Forget demonetization.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you got a season, although, you can do whatever you want.
To be fair, I don't think they would ever have a problem with demonetization. They are very family-friendly, entertaining. It's just one of those ones that's just, this is for everyone, basically.
What? No, what? At work the other day, I threw a piece of rubbish in the basket. I'm feeling I could copy strike them.
Copy, yeah. Well, I threw that piece of rubbish first. You're copying. So it was kind of a weird video. The way it was filmed was really good. They did it like a fake press conference with like fake cheering and stuff. It was done well. It was very entertaining. But it was just weird because there was all of this build up about this is what you can get, and I was thinking, oh wow, they're gonna be moving to a new platform. Maybe they've got their own version of YouTube, or they're doing something outside of YouTube. That's what it seems like. And then at the end, it's like, it's just you click that join.
All you
button.
have to do is just click join.
It was like, what? Really? Okay. I mean. Fair enough.
And what's weird is other YouTubers that have that join button don't even go this far. They just say, click it if you want.
Exactly.
They don't even advertise it.
So it's actually
like Jake Paul has it.
That's quite interesting because they've consciously thought, right, this is going to be a good strategy because that is a good source of money. It's a recurring thing. People get extra stuff. It's good for the viewers. It's good for us. Like, it makes sense.
The community would be happy.
Yeah, and they're a business, and then they're adults. Like, they're not stupid. They're doing this with, they've thought it through, which is cool, which is good to see. They had
meetings.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So it's good to see that, that they're actually putting in effort because, to be fair, someone like Jake Paul, like, why would I click that button? I have no reason to, even if I love Jake Paul.
Only well, I don't want to say an idiot, but only somebody who's obsessed rather than wants good content.
Yeah, it's not like he's gone out like, oh yeah, this is all the extra stuff I'm doing. But Dude Perfect, they're actually putting in a lot by the sounds of it. They're putting in a lot of extra work to actually make it worth people's time. Which I respect. Exactly. Like they've got respect for their audience, and they don't want to they're not trying to scam anyone. Basically, they're like, You really do get.
I wish Adult Swim did that for their seasons of Robot Chicken or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you could, because you have to pay directly on Google or YouTube, I suppose, for a season. I think it's like a couple pounds. I wish there was a different way, but if you gotta pay, you gotta pay.
So yeah, I think that's all the news I have anyway. What else you got?
I'll go really quickly. I'll start with the shorter one first. So Shane Dawson, a guy I don't think we've covered, we haven't focused on him, but we've mentioned him before. But he's a guy that for me, he's known as the guy of, if he announces this is the video or series he's gonna do next, everyone gets so excited, and that first video gets so many views. So he basically does do I say interviews, like in-depth? I'm overhyping it, but he does in-depth interviews and analysis on a person, usually a YouTuber, sometimes a bit more, or he'll do conspiracy theory videos, which is actually linked to this piece of news. So he announced that he was going to do a conspiracy theory video. And in the first 12 hours, it basically got demonetized. And everyone kind of predicted this was going to happen because there's this thing going on that once you mention conspiracy, it actually breaches one of the policies about mentioning things to a point where it sounds like it's true even though you can't prove it is, and everyone just assumed that this video was not gonna be okay with YouTube. And the first 12 hours, he did come back, say it got demonetized, and he got loads of views. And I think even Philip DeFranco said that he potentially on an average CPM would have made $60,000. I don't know, but apparently. He did break it down with like a calculator and everything, so he would know. He gets the views.
Don't worry, guys. He had a calculator.
yeah. He had it all covered. He had a spreadsheet and everything. So fair enough if that's the amount he could have lost. But YouTube then apologized, and I don't know if it was in a tweet or he just shared the email with the apology, and it basically said, and I quote, "Sometimes we get it wrong when determining if a video is suitable for advertising, and we encourage creators to appeal when they think there's an error."
Okay.
Now, that is your straightforward apology, so to speak. But they're actually admitting that they get it wrong and appealing to us demonetizing it when that was the most crucial time where all his views come in is probably not good enough, especially for a YouTuber who posts very rarely and relies on the initial release to like get everything,
Interesting.
But hey, yeah.
So actually, YouTube recently has been getting a lot of flack for demonetization, for copyright issues. So copyright strikes and also content. What is it? It's like content ID claims, which are two different things, by the way. So they've actually been...
I've never seen so many recommended videos of YouTubers saying why the system is broke, why my video got taken down, so on, like recently.
So also, I will give YouTube some credit here because I have seen in the app, they've actually been doing posts saying, go here to learn more about how these systems work and the laws behind it. So they've got this new page that they're doing, and they are pushing it as well on their social medias, and they are trying to get the message out there, because although YouTube does get it wrong, there's also a lot of misconceptions about it that people follow and think, oh, YouTube's got this wrong, when actually it's like, well, that's actually the law and YouTube can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly.
See that?
Oh yeah, didn't you send me a copy of a tweet the other day from the YouTuber creator Twitter account or something like that?
Yeah. So that was basically about a YouTuber recently got. So I've actually heard a few people have been having this problem, but a YouTuber recently got fake copyright striked, and the person that did it was trying to extort them for money. They said, look, we'll take down this strike if you pay us $100 right now, that kind of thing. And apparently this has been happening a fair bit, where it's literally just companies straight up abusing the system, trying to just extort people for money because they say, just pay us right now.
And we'll make this all go away.
Yeah, so it's just straight up just, criminal. So this happened to some guy. He tweeted at YouTube. YouTube kind of responded to him relatively quickly saying, well, yeah, this was wrong. They shouldn't have been able to do this. We've removed their claim, and we've also improved our algorithm to better notice this kind of thing. So they realize that a lot of people are upset about this stuff, and they realize it's an issue and not quite right. So I do feel like they are making an effort. They've got a long way to go, but I do feel like they are making an effort. And I do also feel that a lot of people need to actually try and educate themselves a bit about this too, because there are a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this whole YouTube is the enemy needs to kind of slow down.
Yeah, it's like you're better off trying to understand it better yourself and work with the system to try and improve it for yourself and for everyone. But admittedly, YouTube is also, they're not doing it that well, and they're not protecting people enough from this kind of thing. But it's by no means easy. But anyway.
Yeah. The last thing was MatPat, who is basically, I would say, the face of the YouTube channel called Game Theorists, that have, I've actually kind of forgotten, like 7 or 13, which is kind of a big difference in million subscribers. I'll check that whilst thinking about it. But basically, they, MatPat kind of came out explaining the last 2 months of the channel and what they've gone through, and basically they were like Smosh and a lot of YouTube channels back in the day when it was hard to when it was actually impossible to monetize your videos without having a MCN, multi-channel network. So they were basically owned or under the umbrella of Defy Media, which also owns Smosh, and basically they've had a relationship for ages, and basically at just the click of a finger they just kind of shut it down, and all the money that they were that they were owed, as they closed it down, the guy that MatPat himself was speaking to kind of disappeared, and the money that not just the Game Theorist channel, but apparently 50 other channels that were under Defy Media were all owed money, and there's been this whole long lawsuit to kind of get that money back.
Wow.
It's kind of very unfortunate, and they got 11 million subs, by the way, and they, even though it's 1.7 million split by 50 channels, that's a lot. It's still a lot, even though it's it's a couple people's salaries, but it's not just the amount of money that they've lost. It's the fact that MCNs have such a bad name ever since Machinima, and we've talked about them before, but ever since they've emerged to just be these small companies that are middle people to just basically cripple YouTube channels and just take a cut just because. And they've got a bad name. So Maker Studios, that was with Ray William Johnson
as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's the Disney one. And they just kind of leave channels behind because they have a goal, which is to make money. And the way these MCNs work, or they've kind of evolved to, is they make their spreadsheets look good by saying this is the amount of revenue we make from these 50 YouTube channels that we own, for example. And when investors come along, they'll be like, wow, you guys make this much from all these views, even though it's not really them, it's the YouTube channels themselves. So once they get these investors, then they get a big pile of money. And then when the investors now start looking at the books, they're like, wow, you don't really have much depth to this. And then these people shoot off, and the company that bought it from the MCN realizes, oh, we don't actually, this is kind of small to us. We don't really need these YouTube channels to continue. Let's shut it down.
Yeah.
Which explains the SourceFed thing and now MatPat situation.
That's like happening a lot recently, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, we're just shutting it all down. We're just turning it off. It's like,
and you would think, these channels are like, these channels can make so much money, but to the company that bought it from an MCN, that's actually small change to them. And unless it's bringing good profit that they don't have to watch it and it's great. Like we spoke about Machinima, how the company that had it decided to get rid of everything because it was too much work to edit previous videos to make sure that they were, you know, free from, you know, copy strikes and like content ID like picking up. So they just decided to get rid of it. Even though they got 12 million subscribers for a channel, that's not value to them, you know?
Yeah. So
it just makes sense that these big companies kind of shut it down because they don't care. They've got other stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so with that 1.7 million that's shared out, apparently the bank that holds it, as well as the people who are dealing with the lawsuit, apparently these channels are going to be ranked in priority in terms of who gets the money, and some channels might get nothing if they're that far down.
Oh, wow.
Because everything under Defy is not just YouTube channels. Some of them are other companies outside of YouTube Entertainment. So it's just weird to basically be a YouTuber, selling yourself to an MCN and literally having your whole livelihood under somebody else's control.
Yeah, so, literally completely under their control.
No matter how many subs you've got.
But that's the thing as well. A lot of the earlier, at least, contracts with YouTubers were very predatory and very unfair on the actual YouTubers. I think that people have wisened up a bit. But that's true. And YouTube is now more helpful to a new starter. Yeah. Now, these days as well, MCNs are not necessarily a bad thing, but if anyone is a YouTuber out there thinking about an MCN, just get legal advice on the contract. Don't sign anything until a lawyer has looked it over. I know it's going to cost money to get a lawyer to look at it, but it will 100% be worth it in the long run. Yeah.
And which I do love about the MatPat video, as much as he's a very dramatic Shane Dawson, this is a big deal, guys, kind of voice commentator. He does bring up good points about the moments, because I do love YouTube channels that are like 100,000 subs, because they're at that point of like knowing themselves. This could be a business, this might not be. And the moment you see an MCN come your way, you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. Yeah. Let me agree. Let's make it work. This could be my job. He does advise, just take a step back and think about your other options, because it's not always the way to go.
Especially these days, it's not the only thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah.
Cool. All right. We should go to wrap up this episode. We're going over time now. Overtime. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. We have been the Hit Pause Podcast. Remember to subscribe to us on iTunes. Remember to subscribe to us on your Android device. SoundCloud. Links for subscribing will be in the YouTube video description, in the podcast description. You can click the buttons. It will take you where you need to go. Do not worry about it.
It is your personal Google Maps.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next week, every Tuesday.
Ooh, easy with that. We don't know about that. We don't have a good track record in the last week.
Okay, in the last 1 week? We've had 47 episodes, dude. Okay, we're every Tuesday. Right. We missed one. And it wasn't our fault. All right, see you all.